Fucking hell, this is a long one. Right, here goes. Once upon a midnight gloomy, in a cell with just my roomie, thinking of the stacks and stacks of money I had once before. Soon I nodded, drifting deeply into slumber, dreaming sweetly of the heists I once had pulled, and of my crew that I adore, but who, after my confinement, found a man I don't adore, to replace me evermore. So clearly I remember First World Bank on that September, and the other payday members as we earned our first big score. Dallas led and we stole millions, tying down the scared civilians, forcing that old manager down on the cold and hardened floor, followed by a sea of cops who landed on that hardened floor, rising from it nevermore. Moving on, I dreamt of running through the streets while fiercely gunning down policemen as we made our way to even out the score, with our comrade who betrayed us. Masks secured so no one made us. Down we tracked that bloody mat, except we couldn't free the door. So we smoked the traitor out until he opened up the door. I think he nearly shat his drawers. Yelling at the worm defector, hesitantly his protector, down the streets we shoved that rat as law enforcers marched to war, standing at our destination, but no time for celebration. While we waited for our chopper, those damn cops stepped up the score. Bullets flew and bodies dropped. Again we settled up the score. A message no one could ignore. Next stop, I was in the project, scaling up some gangsters' complex. The crew and I were looking for a man we'd never met before. Searching over, unimpeded, for a key we sorely needed. As expected, Chavez had it, so we dropped him to the floor, executing all the gangsters as we placed saws on the floor. The panic room was theirs no more. Just as we thought things were dandy, cops arrived to take our candy. There were more police than I'd ever seen before. Every heist our crew had finished, police squads were undiminished, hitting hard and hitting harder every time we made a score. We won't let them take our cash. We work too hard to earn our score. Those pigs can fuck off evermore. Splitting up and giving orders, Dallas helped us hold our borders. If you ask me, that old Yankee always kept our crew's rapport. Chains downed cops with gun discharges, all while Wolf placed C4 charges. Me and Dallas cleared the rooftop, showing those police what for. Alex needed space to breathe, and so we showed those cops what for. Then he lifted out our score. Next, new plans that Bane did dictate, set to find a Chinese inmate, found by sawing open armoured trucks upon a bridge offshore. Shouting at the frightened convict, up the scaffold we had handpicked, taking down the law enforcers who encroached upon our floor, long enough to send our convict flying from the highest floor. On the skyhook did he soar. Once again, my dreams, they shifted to another score we lifted. Dark and quiet, skulking through a building, picking loot galore. Gems and diamonds for the taking, breezing through the undertaking. Dodging guards and cams was easy till we reached the main vault door. Caught with all our trousers down when Bane's codes didn't crack the door. It's never easy anymore. Thinking up a brand new game plan, we sought out the CFO man. Cops and civs watched as we dropped him to the 22nd floor. Quick, we moved and found our hostage, wading through some bloody carnage. Surely Garnett wants his son, he'll trade for codes to pop the door. Put a gun to Junior's head and watch as Daddy pops the door. What'd I tell you? Easy score. Further then my dreams continued, drifting, shifting, changing into scenes of slaughterhouses filled with far more coppers than before. Urban basements stashed with bill plates used to print fake cash for ingrates. Taxmen giving up their codes to hack the IRS before snipers could locate our crew. But we held back the cops before making off with one more score. Then the darkness overtook me. Piercing lights and sirens shook me. Some foreshadowing of danger just beyond our safe house door. Men in modded heavy blast suits, men with shields and bulletproof boots. Monsters wielding green eyes glowing, gliding 6 feet off the floor. Men who fight with lightning bolts that drop our crew down to the floor, as if kings from gods of yore. All these men and monsters closing in around our safe house, posing such a threat as I could never even contemplate before. On they marched with countless others, uniforms and SWAT team brothers, rolling up upon the place that I stood sweating more and more. Suddenly, alone in darkness, freedom lost forevermore, as the cops descended forth. One last phase to this cold nightmare. On a pleasant day in town where I could see the gang preparing to rip off some local stores for a Rusky who'd been plotting from his cell where he'd been rotting. Free now from imprisonment and set to settle up the score. He contracted Bane to strike his rivals and collect a score. So Bane called up his favoured four. But the crew of skilled offenders had among them that pretender, one who took the name and face belonging to me once before. My past cohorts paid no notice to the man who's clearly bogus. Happily they drew their guns and ventured onwards with the score. Working with this brand new member, they gave him my rightful score and call him Hoxton evermore. So despite myself in prison, I could watch as Bane had risen, my old crew from out the ashes that had lain upon the floor, finding them some work in DC, and that man who would replace me. The one and only Payday crew was back in action, same old four. Dallas, Chains, Sir Wolf and Hoxton. But it's not the same old four. I'm forgotten evermore. Waking from that dreadful slumber, heavy thoughts kept me encumbered, sweating far more bullets than the cops have ever shot at me before. But that dream gave me the insight that I need to get my head right. No more sitting, no more waiting in this prison anymore. Time to contact Bane, for I won't sit here brooding anymore. Time to earn another score. When I think of our past spoils, it reminds me of our toils. Thinking of the cash I lost, my heart grows heavy more and more. Truly, dearly do I miss it. Longing, and I can't dismiss it. Deeply do I crave to be outside these walls that I abhor. Take my place within my crew and oust the man that I abhor. Wear my mask? Ha! Nevermore!